Hello. I think we're live now. As usual, gonna do some sound checks and then we can start looking at the chat and getting into today's stream. I see that there's Sop. Hello, Sop. Good evening. Yeah. I hope that you guys can hear myself. And I think we are good on the chat. Hello, Antonio. Hello. Robin as well. Hello, guys. Oh, I've got 3 people watching me straight away. This is a new one. I usually have no one for like 10 minutes. How are you guys doing? How was the weekend? How was the start of the week? Are you guys having a good week? Hopefully work is going okay. I think you've sent this broken link here. Come here to fix. Oh, right. Oh, Taria, thank you very much. But yeah, my class register has not API docs, but of course Rust community already made library for it. I don't know what we're talking about, Sob. Suddenly I cannot focus too much, but I'll be lurking. Thank you, Antonio. Obrigado. If you can drop a like, you know, I appreciate that. And if you have to go, dude. Don't worry too much about watching me. But yeah, guys, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing quite good on this Tuesday evening. And I'm actually in the same kind of. Well, I was kind of busy today until now. Then I thought, why not? Let's do some coding. Let's do some C++. And today I actually had the idea of streaming a past coding challenge that I've had for a job interview. I can't, of course, say which job it was for or which company this was for. So I've removed all of the company names and any mention to the job. However, the problem is here, and we're going to go through this problem. We're going to read it together. We're going to make some notes, and then I'm going to teach you guys how we usually approach this kind of interview. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Everything's fine. I've been trying to do a lot of leak code for a common interview. Nice, Antonio. Yeah. So maybe you can watch this interview in the future because it might help you a little bit. But yeah, this is not so much a leak code interview. This is more like a coding challenge that. Job applications will tend to give you nowadays. So usually you get leak code on the first stage, and then once you pass those kind of like short interview questions or coding challenges, then you get something like this, where they will give you a couple of days, sometimes like up to a week, to finish a project and kind of showcase to the interviewers what you can do, what you know, how much experience you have with a certain programming language. So yeah, I mean, this is that kind of interview. This is the actual project side of things. So yeah, let's look into it. I'm going to open Excalibur here, Excalidraw, just because I kind of have the feeling that we might do some sketching here. Hello, Peter. Welcome, sir, and good evening. You joined just at the right time, dude. So yeah, I feel like probably it's the best thing we can do right now is like once you get some sort of like interview challenge, you probably have to spend some time kind of reading it and making sure that you understand the problem and that you have some idea of how to fix it before you start doing any coding, right? So that's what we're going to do now. Let's take, maybe 5 or 10 minutes here to skim through this and kind of figure out what the project is about. Spoiler alert, I've completed this thing before. In fact, this was for an interview that I did, I think last year in February, I believe it was, for a company that I really wanted to get a job at, but unfortunately it didn't work out well. I didn't get offered the role. But yeah, so let's read it. So thank you for showing your interest in our C++ plugin developer opening. So that's very important. This was for a C++ plugin developer. It was a senior software engineer role. The task for this exercise is to implement a simple command interpreter library for C++ in a CMake project. So if you know what a command interpreter library is, if you've heard of Repl, it's kind of the same. It's the same sort of problem here. The exercise involves both defining an interface to the library according to some requirements and implementing the behavior of the library. And I'm gonna kind of change this song because it sucks. So far we kind of know that this coding challenge is basically for, you're meant to develop a command line interpreter. Sounds like a skill issue. It was a skill issue, actually, yeah. I mean, I didn't have one of the skills that they wanted. They wanted the Unreal development, and I didn't know any of it. Don't ban me, it's just a joke. I know, dude, yeah. I mean, most interviews that you don't get usually is a skill issue if you think about it. You usually don't have the skills that they want. So requirements. The following functions are already provided as part of the library code project. Their signatures may not be changed. So this is telling straight away that they gave you some code already to start with, and they don't want you to change any of the signatures here. So it probably is like a public header with these signatures, and they don't want you to change any of that because it's probably already been linked, or they're going to link your project to a wider project where they can test it all the code that you've written, right? So that's why they don't want you to change here. And this is very common in C++ projects where they give you a common interface and you're not allowed to change that. So initialize is called to initialize any resource in the library. Shut down is to shut down or let go of any processes or of any resources that you're using in the library. And poll, which is called frequently to perform processing within the library. So I guess this processes each command that you pass into it, right? We're not going to go too much into detail here because we're not really here to do this coding project exactly in the way that they're asking. I'm just showing you how I think about it. So we're going to, take things a little bit quicker in this case. You should implement the functions above to initialize and clean up any resources your library uses and to perform any regular processing when poll is called. So we should use the function. It's saying that these functions above are used to initialize the library, and then poll is used to actually get the result when people pass in the commands to it. This is all that this is saying. In addition to the three functions above, we should also define and implement an interface for the command interpreter's functionality. The exact details of this interface is up to you, but must fulfill the following requirements. So this is the stuff that you're actually going to be coding right down here. So it's very important that we usually pay attention to these parts of the project or the problem description, right? So the user must be able to call a function to provide a command to the interpreter as a string. Okay, you may assume that only one command is provided per call to this function, which is very important. This is saying that when users, when you have, let's think of this whole project as a command line interpreter like bash, right? So this is basically just telling us that the users are going to be passing the commands as a string. So something like I don't know, echo hello, right? Echo hello is the command, and well, echo is the command, and I can kind of guess just from this information that there will be arguments as well in the same string. So this is what this is saying, and you only get one command per string, right? So this is so far so good. Let me know if you guys don't understand something, but we're going to keep going. Commands are provided in the format command arg1 and arg2, as we just saw, where the command name is mandatory and any arguments are dependent on the context of the command. The command name and arguments are delimited by white space, which may not include new lines. So this is saying that the commands and arguments will be separated by white spaces, and quoted arguments do not need to be supported, which is very important. So like if you think about echo, for example, right, you can have something like hello world, and the argument that's actually been passed to echo is just one argument. And the string is hello world here. This is not two arguments if you have the quotations. For this project, we don't have to support that. So we can assume that each argument is going to be like one full word without spaces on it, right? Which is very important as well. It makes the implementation a lot easier. The user must be able to, wait, did I skip this one? Yeah, I did. The user must be able to provide a single static callback function to the interpreter, which serves to pass back output from the executed commands. The output should be provided as a string. So this is saying that for whatever functions you support in your command line interpreter here, you should be able to set a callback function, which is called with the result of that the command being completed. Whatever the command returns, that's going to be passed to the callback, and the result will be provided as a string. So the return type here should be a string. This is what this is saying basically, right? Nothing too fancy here. Although I found this a little bit ambiguous when I looked at it first, because it says provide a single static callback function to the interpreter, which kind of makes me think, every command has one callback, has the same callback. which will be something like, a print to the terminal callback or something like that. So that was quite ambiguous, but yeah, we're going to keep going. The user must be able to provide some arbitrary context to the input function when they enter their command. When the command is processed and output is emitted, this context should be passed back to the output callback in addition to the output string. Okay, so again, I believe this is like you just pass back what the command was to the output callback here. I wasn't too sure on this point, if I'm honest, the first time I looked at it, but they, with my implementation, they didn't seem to complain, so I guess I got it right. Commands should only be processed in response to a call to poll. The user may provide multiple commands. This is very important. The user may be able to provide multiple commands to the interpreter before calling poll. In this case, these arguments should be processed in order in which they were received, but do not have to all be processed in a single call to poll. Long-running commands should not block execution of other commands as well. So if you have any longer-running commands, you make sure that you process them a little bit, and then you pass in the execution to the other commands in, I guess it's a queue, right? Which brings us to a point. This is probably going to be stored in a command queue if you read this properly. So you're going to be adding commands. You're going to say, echo hello world, and then you add 1 and 2 or something like that, or whatever, and you store all those commands in the queue, and then you just empty from the queue and process the commands when the user calls this poll function. This is the bread and butter of this project. The interface functions will always be called from a single thread, which is important. The user should be able to call the command input function safely from code within the output callback. This is just saying that you don't have to worry about having a thread safe command interpreter here, because it's all going to be in the same thread, right? So we don't have to worry about that. Antonio Jr. Welcome, my dude. With that name, you're definitely Brazilian or Portuguese, so bem-vindo. So yeah, I mean, if you guys, I'm going to stop here. We read basically everything that we need for this project. Now we got to think about sort of like the MVP. What's the minimum viable product that we can implement in this project, so that when we deliver it, even if we're a bit late, it still looks like we've completed it. And there is a little section here that tells you what the MVP is. So the following arguments must be supported by the interpreter. Echo, args, so this is just gonna, as you assume, is gonna print out the arguments to the console. And then countdown, which counts down the given number of seconds output in a message, each second the output via the output callback. The number of the seconds is specified by exactly one argument. So countdown 10 is gonna print counting down from 10, counting down from 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way up to 0, I guess, right? So yeah, I mean, this is the minimum viable product. We've got to be able to support these two functions here. So if I went in my my C++ terminal now that we'll be implementing in a second, I got to be able to provide to support echo with whatever I put here, and I also have a countdown function which will simply just count down and print the number of seconds remaining. And that's all. These are the two commands we have to implement, right? So, with that in mind, the rest is actually very simple. I mean, there's some other considerations. I'm not going to go into it, and they're saying that you should probably, include some testing here and the evaluation criteria, which is what they will be. And maybe we'll read us through this. So they'll be evaluating this on the correctness. How does your library actually work against the requirements? Only 2 commands. For this interview, SOP, it was only 2 commands, by the way. They only wanted 2 commands. Obviously, I didn't do just 2. I did it in a way that you can add any command that you want, and we'll talk about that in a second. Because ideally, you want to do something that's going to, basically blow their minds and think, whoa, this guy is, did a bunch of other stuff in the same time that the other people did. Sometimes you want to do that, and that's what we're going to do today. So yeah, correctness, does your library actually work? Design, how is the external interface design? Like this, did you change anything? Is it portable? Does it compile to all the platforms available? The types chosen appropriately. So this is like, did you name your functions properly and that kind of shit? That's all it is. Testing, have you verified the code works as expected? And we can add some unit tests here, I guess. Structure and readability of the library. So this is just code quality stuff at the same. Flexibility and maintainability. How easy is it to add extra features, such as new commands, for example? So you can see that although they only ask for 2 functions, they expect it to be very easy for you to add, a different command. Say you wanted to support add with 2 numbers. They're basically saying that to you here. So you should probably do that as well. So it's really easy project, but they will rate code quality. Yeah, it's a very easy project. It's indeed is a very, this type of project here is kind of what you get with most jobs nowadays. And I've had maybe like just over 10 interviews last year when I was looking for a new job, and they all had the similar idea. So the project itself is fairly easy, but they have a bunch of stuff that they're going to be marking it against. So like, it may look like an easy project, but I guarantee you that they have already written some code around this library such that they will just plug your library, your compiled library, into their system, and they will run like 1,000 tests on it and make sure that it all works. They will test your architecture skills as well. So like, how good are you to design this whole project? How well did you design it, basically? Did you follow any like good patterns? Did you do any research before, and etc.? So they're going to be testing all of that. So I know it looks easy, but it's not. I guarantee you. And if you did whatever came to your mind in like an hour, you probably wouldn't pass the interview. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, the most evil test inputs are coming. Indeed, yeah. So yeah, I mean, how do we actually approach this now? Now it's very easy. We can actually start to kind of guess how it's going to work. So like, you can think of it as like, this is going to be our command table, right? So in a nutshell, you're supporting commands, right? So you have somehow a list of commands that you support in your application, and these commands will have I guess like the names, right? So you have some command names here, and then some arguments, right? So we can have, let's say, command name, for example, echo. Echo is going to be here, and then you've got the arguments, which will be something like arg1, arg2, blah, 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 right? You probably want a variadic number of arguments in this case. Good evening, Joey. Good evening. And then the other one that we actually also had to support was countdown, right? Countdown right here, which again, it just had 1 argument in this case. So that's the other argument, the other command that we have to support, which is seconds, the number of seconds that we want, right? By the way, I'm going to actually link this to you guys. I'm not sure if you can see on the chat. This is the interview specs, right? This is what we're going over. And this is something that I had to do last year for one of the interviews that I had. And of course, as you know, that one of the criteria is to actually check how easy it is to add other commands. You do want to support the addition of more commands in this project if you want, to get at least a next interview. Okay. So if you want to pass this, I would recommend you try harding and then actually making something that kind of works. So when you see this straight away, it's a map, right? It's a map. So the commands are going to be stored as a map. So basically, the key is going to be the command name, and the argument, or the keys here, is probably going to be a function handler, a lambda, or something like that will basically just handle the string. So we pass in the command string, and then it will just kind of like save the arguments and like execute them later on, right? Now, the other thing that we also got asked to do, an ordered map. Yeah, I mean, no, don't do an ordered map. That's the first thing I can recommend here. Don't start with an ordered map. That's a very bad idea. So the other thing that we have to, get into our minds or note here is that they said that poll is the function that's going to be called when the commands need to be executed, right? And the users may input multiple commands before they even call poll for the first time. And they said that they should be running in order of addition, right? So this also screamed to me like it's a queue, it's a command queue, right? So for each command that a user adds, we're going to have a command queue here. So this is what we're going to have here, and this queue is just going to actually hold the strings, shall we say, right? So it's going to be basically a queue of commands. So std map equals no job. No, that's not true. Hello Vinay Sharma. That's a name that I haven't heard in months. How's it going, dude? Danielle Alman, audio is very hot. Oh, audio is very hot. Is it bad or is it good? I mean, you tell me, dude. I mean, I bought this microphone so I can just do some ASMR. So let me know if it sounds good. That was a joke, by the way. So yeah, I mean, command Q, and we're going to be storing the actual commands here, such like echo, hello world. We may not necessarily store them as strings, right? We may store them as a different format, as a command format or whatever. So, you know, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be adding here, right? And say we did support another command, and we had like add 1 and 5 or something, right? So yeah. So let's, you know, if we can start from this, if we can try to implement something very easy that's going to handle these types of inputs. So we've got like a command queue that's going to be saving all the commands that were input, and we've got the command representation as a map, so we can look up the commands, and you know, whenever you read a string like echo hello world, we're going to look up the name, and then we're going to apply the function pointer here to these arguments. We're doing good already, right? But why not C++ map? Well, because C++ map is actually faster than stud unordered map, unless you have very specific cases, like a lot of commands for once. And yeah, I mean, unless you're having a problem with that, unless you actually have a performance problem, you just use a stud map. And I would actually, if I'm interviewing you, SOP, I would ask you exactly why you didn't go for a stud map, which, you know, is something that I do in interviews, basically. There is no point of sorting commands. No, there's no point of sorting commands. Oh, there is for lookup. Is a bit faster. But what you got to understand is that stud unordered map, the constant time, although it's like lookup, it's constant lookup. That constant time is a lot higher than a small stud map. So, as I said, don't change it to an ordered map unless you have a very good reason for that. And in fact, don't even use an ordered map. Just go for something else entirely. Like the boost maps are pretty good, much better. There's dense map, which is even better as well. So, you know, you should probably look those up as well. Anyway, so yeah, let's see if we can start with this. So let's actually get into coding now. Now that we've got like some sort of like a plan for the specs, we can do that. So let's go into development. Let me create a directory here called cpp interview. Now this is where I'm going to kind of reuse some of the stuff that I've done before. So basically, I'm going to reuse some of the CMake presets that I've created for previous projects, so we don't have to write it all on our own, right? And also they kind of ensure that I've got a preset for building on every platform. So I've got presets for Windows, I've got presets for Linux on GCC, and I've got presets for Linux on Clang as well. So basically, I will try and compile this project with all those presets, because that's one of the criteria as well. So you have to make sure that your project compiles for all the platforms that they've mentioned, right? So I think it's in this project here. Okay, so checked out to main, and now we go to CPP interview. And I'm going to copy that CMake presets into here. So at least we have a way of kind of writing some code, right? One of the things that I haven't probably spoken about is that the interview project, or the coding challenge, actually came with some files. It came with some C++ files, or some CMake files. But because I don't want to talk about the company too much, and I don't want to make it kind of easy for people to find that particular problem if they get it in their future interview, I'm just going to start from scratch here. But do know that the challenge did come with some code that you have to kind of develop around. But it's not a problem if you just do it. just do it from scratch in this video. I just want to show you how I approach this problem. So let's create a CMake preset. Oh, sorry, this CMake lists.txt, right? And then we're gonna just fill up with a bunch of shit here. So CMake minimum required, version 3.25. Now we've got the project itself. So CPP, Repl, interview, languages, CXX. Let me know if you guys can see everything here. I hope you guys can see. If it's too small, I can zoom it in, but let me know. And I think there's a bug on VS Code. You have to kind of reopen the project if you want it to recognize it as a CMake project. There you go. So it should ask me for the presets now. There you go. Let's say we just want to compile it with the debug, right? It's fine for me. Thank you, Antonio. Yes, so Repl interview, and the project, the coding challenge says that it has to be a library, right? So we're going to add a library here. Let's actually add a source directory, I guess, for all the source code. And then in here, we're going to add another folder called the CMD interpreter. The command interpreter, right? And then in there we can do another CMake lists, because we're gonna add this, and then to the main CMake lists. So we're gonna compose everything, and then we can do an add library here. Let's call it, I don't know, command interpreter. And yeah, for now I'm gonna add this. Maybe we added a CPP file in here as well. I mean, we could do this with modules, right? That'll be a good practice. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it with modules. So in this case, I'm just gonna add the library here. And then we go target sources, I think. CMD interpreter. Let's change the main one so we can include that command line interpreter as well. Add subdirectory, and then we've got source, CMD interpreter. Okay, so fun fact, X version of CMake on Windows doesn't always support the same things as X version on worse Linux. Yeah, I mean, there are variables, it's not meant to, by the way. There are variables that differ in value between Windows, Linux, and Mac, by the way. Can you use Conan for adding the lib? If we add any like third-party projects, I can use Conan. Bashar, by the way, welcome to the stream. But I don't think we're going to be using Conan today, because the actual challenge, and I've posted a link here on the description. Let me actually post it on the video description as well. It specifically says that we shouldn't really include any third-party packages, I believe, right? So I'm gonna kind of like add the link here for you guys. So project coding challenge specs. Oh shit, this is not right. Yeah, I've added it to the description of this video, so like if you guys refresh the stream, it should be there now. And by the way, if you've not done so as well, I would massively appreciate a like, guys, because YouTube does help me out quite a lot when I get more likes on my stream. It shows it to more people. So yeah, I mean, if we're gonna use modules here, we have to kind of change it to version 3.28. And now on the target sources, I believe there is modules or something. There's a module set, CXX module set, I think. Let me check it. So target source. Target sources CMake. And of course, you guys shouldn't be embarrassed if you have to look anything up for coding projects. In fact, it's recommended that you do that anyway. So yeah, if you get a problem like this, make sure that you do Google before to see how people implemented this kind of stuff. It's always worth seeing and getting some ideas. In fact, if I'm interviewing someone and I give them a problem like this, I expect them to do some research before they even start to write a single line of code. And I want them to explain about it when I'm asking them about the project, right? Anyway, so we have CXX modules, right, file sets. Now contains, okay, so we need to put CXX modules, right? Is it CXX modules? I think it is. All right, so target sources, and then we've got target here. Let me zoom in for you guys to see as well. We have target and then public, private, or I guess, do you have to put private here? No, we don't, do we? How did you do this before on the base64 project? Get checkout, and then we've got CP20 modules. I'm going to source, and go to base64, and then we cut the CMake lists. CXX modules public. Yeah, we do have to put the public. Never mind. So public interpreter, CXX modules, and then we do the CMD interpreter. Right? .cpp, of course. Right, and then we can reconfigure this. So what happened? So Conan toolchain. Okay, yeah. So let me remove the Conan stuff from here because I don't really care about it. For this project, we're not using Conan, as I said. I mean, do you guys understand what this project is about? And let me know if you have like any questions on it. I'm just going to code away at the moment. So we're going to reconfigure, and we should be able to kind of, no sources given to CMD interpreter. Target sources, CMD interpreter public. Like how? How is it not? Cannot find source file CXX modules. How did we do here? File set, okay. Yeah, I forgot the file set before. You did not add my change to the project. Vinay, I checked your changes out. Did you change what I mentioned in the project? Sorry, I just haven't had time today, dude, but I'll look at it after the stream, I promise. But if you've applied all the changes, then yeah, then we're good, man. So CMD interpreter, .cpp interpreter, CMD interpreter. What's the issue here? Public file set files. Ah, okay. There's also files here. God, they made this really difficult, didn't they? CMake did make this a little bit difficult. We have to specify all these keywords just to specify a module. But anyway, so we've got that here. So we've got command line interpreter, and we've got all the includes that we're going to use here. But yeah, let's actually talk about doing the implementation of this, right? So we mentioned that we probably want a command map, right? So let's do that. So let's have some sort of wait, what the hell is going on? Not used by the project. Okay, so I need to specify a different configure preset. I think I was doing the GCC one, so I need a Clang one. So let's do a Clang debug. Okay, that should be good now. And these keywords should be recognized now by oh no. Okay, target compile features, right? Yeah, that's fine. On the main CMake, we just got to say that we want to set the CMake CXX standard to 20. And then standard required to on here. And then we want the extensions off. By the way, I'm doing this just so we can use modules in C++. That's the only reason why I'm doing all of this, by the way. In fact, the project didn't actually ask for, you know, using modules, but, you know, I thought we might as well, right? We're doing a modern C++ stream, so let's use some modules here. And now we've got all the keywords being recognized. I'm gonna actually zoom in just a little bit more so you guys can actually see everything here. And yeah, so let's do that that command Q and the command map, right? So we need two things for this. We obviously need the map, and then we also need to have the Q headers here, because we're going to use both of them. And if we just do a type def here, so something like using, I don't know, command Q, it's going to be just a simple queue of, let's call it a command, right? We're going to have a struct that's going to be a command. We haven't defined that yet, but this is what we're going to store. And the command is going to be a command name together with the arguments. So we don't know what types of arguments there will be yet, probably just strings. And then, yeah, that will be the command. And we also want to define the command map. So it's just going to be a C++ map where you have obviously a stud string here. And then we have a function pointer, right? So I'm going to save it as a function. And for that, I'm going to explain why in a second. So include functional. I'm going to include the functional header in C++. We're going to just comment this out so we can get the IntelliSense working on the next line. And yeah, in here, we're going to do the std function. And the function itself, right? What are we going to return? So we're going to return, I guess, a string as well, which will be the output of the command, right? And then we're going to take, I guess, let's do a vector of strings here. And we're going to return it as a const, right? Now for that, we're obviously forgetting to do something here. So let's move that over there. And then we've got the include string here. And then we also have the include vector there. And this should have actually been there. And we should be okay now, right? Now, why am I using stud function instead of just a function pointer here? Well, stud function works very nicely with lambdas and function pointers in the sense that you can convert both lambdas and function pointers to a stud function implicitly in C++. So that's why I'm using it here. There is some caveats. Stud function actually has a lot more overhead than just using a lambda, for example. But you know, it is what it is, and I prefer usability over the overhead in this case. Indeed, yeah. So stud function, modern, not quite. The modern is C++ doesn't mean stud function. Well, it does mean stud function. Are using like variants or something like, you know, the newer C++ string views and stuff like that, and maybe even using some like, I don't know, some ranges. We can try and use some ranges here. I can't get modules to work with VS Code. Daniel, that's interesting, dude. So if you're using the MSVC compilers, to be honest, I haven't got them to work it either with the IntelliSense here. It compiles, but it just doesn't work very well. So I'm using Clang. So what you have to do is, if you want to experiment with the C++ modules, you have to go on or install WSL2. And then you're going to have to install Clang 17. That's the only way I've got like IntelliSense fully working on VS Code or any LSP, to be honest, not just VS Code, could be on Vim as well, with Clang. So like, yeah. So yeah, we've got kind of what we want now. So let's define that structure, right? So we got struct command. And then in here, we're going to say what that command is going to be. So we probably want to start the command string here, maybe not. We probably want to store the command name for sure, right? And then we also want to do a vector where we store the arguments, right? To that. And why are we doing this? We're doing this just so we can later on store this in a queue, and then later on call that function with these arguments, right? And now if we uncomment this out, it should be okay here. We want to also export this I think export is the one, right? Or is it public? Yeah, I think export is the one. Type def struct my beloved. No man, I refuse to write that. I mean, you are stuck in the 90s, dude. So yeah, now what can we do here, right? Let's say we compile this as a library. Can we do export using as well? Does this work? Export using? Does it compile? It is export. Export is the right keyword, right? To export shit in the C++ modules. To export a declaration, either prefix with export keyword or else place it inside an export block. Yeah, so we have an export block. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so we're doing good for now. Yeah, and then what can we do here? So like we can kind of have, I guess, a class, right? Let's create a class for now. We may not need this class. It might just be two functions, but you know, we're going to call it the command interpreter. I'm trying not to copy what I've done in the past too much because I have already seen this problem. So like I'm trying not to make it as complicated as that one. What am I even writing? Command interpreter. And we're going to also export it. And this class is going to have a few private stuff. So line 23, go back here. And what are we going to have? We're going to have a command queue, right? So we're going to have a command queue. We call the queue, the commands. I can't spell queue today. There you go. And then we're also going to have, I guess, yeah, we can have a command map in here as well. Just a command map, which is a commands there. Now, what do we want to do? We definitely want to have a few functions here, right? We want to be able to queue a command, and that should take in a string, or something like in string, right? And then a callback. What else do we want to do? We want to be able to process the commands, right? Process commands in queue. And this doesn't return anything, right? What else can we have? We can add a command, which is going to simply add the command to the queue, right? So we can do that, and then we take in the string name, in name. So we take in the name, and then we can kind of, what else do you take in? And then the args, right? I guess. Actually, the function. The command handler, shall we call. It's insane that C needed 52 years to add true, false, and bool as keywords. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen this? This is what we used to do back in the day. Where is it? Something like... There you go. This is all you need, mate. This is how we define true and false. Oh, of course, I've got false wrong, so yeah. But yeah. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Include stud bool. No, that's worse. But yeah, let's start writing this function so we can actually implement some of this, right? So I'm gonna put a boolean here. This is going to return a boolean. So I'm going to say queue command, and we're going to take in a stud string, which is the actual command string itself. And also we're going to take in that callback, right, for this command. Oh no, in fact, that callback should be here. There you go. Define true run. Yeah, do it. Obfuscate it to shit. So yeah, so we take in the command, and that's it. That's how we queue the command, right? And in fact, if we're making it more kind of more modern, there you go for you support shop. And this is how you do it. Modern C++, putting the return at the end. And what is this going to do? Well, this is simply, you know, the bottom line here is that we should be able to add the command inside the command queue, right? So we've got the command queue, and then we've got the in place, and we have the, you know, the command object somehow in here, right? So yeah, but we obviously have to get to this point, yeah, because we're not ready. We have to do a bunch of we have to split the string on spaces here. And then we got to say that if the command name is the first word, and then the command args are the last, right? That's all we got to do here. So yeah, at the last or the remaining. And then once we do that, we can create that command object. We can say something like we're going to add simply whatever it is here. So what is it? Command name and arguments, right? So name and args, right? So in a way, we want to be able to say std string const star name is going to be whatever, you know, first word. And then we also want to say, you know, std string, std vector of std string. We've got the const args here, which will be whatever, you know, remaining arguments. Obviously, we're gonna check it out later. So why is replace not working? No instance of function template queue. With TP command. Wait, what is this actually storing? So command queue is a queue of command. Is this going to work? There you go. Airmanas. Oh, Airmanas, welcome, man. Well, to support. Okay. Oh, I think you might be the first supporter, dude. So, you know, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will definitely have to kind of do something special for you, dude. Maybe, you know, we can talk, we can chat on the weekend or something for like half an hour, and I can maybe help you with whatever it is you need, man. Let me know. But I need to sort the membership out. I need to like redo it because currently it's in Portuguese as well. So like I need to zhuzh it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy to like spend some time with you guy on the weekend, maybe like a half an hour if I've got time, and then we can just chat a little bit. But thank you very much, man, for the support. Yeah, so like first problem that we hit here is like splitting strings in C++. Who's got the best code here for splitting strings in C++? Stop. I expect you to have a very good like string splitter function off the top of your head here. If like me you don't, I will Google it, because there is definitely a standard algorithm. So std string split C++. This effort has to be supported. Thanks for sharing the experience with everyone. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the channel. That's all I can say, dude. There you go, Sop. Give me your string splitter. Give me the best string splitter you can find. I mean, this is using getLine. That's disgusting, man. I'm not using getLine just to split a string. In fact, the ranges stuff, right? So C++ ranges split. Is that a thing? There you go, view split. We can use these. C++ 20. And check examples on the main page and overview section. Dude, you gotta send me on Slack, not on Slack, sorry, on the Discord channel, man. Because I don't get links here. Or have you already done that? Let me check. Nah, I definitely don't have it on Slack. Synth Moon. Miguel. Oh, mate, Miguel. How are you doing, man? I've not seen you in a long time, my guy. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? ¿Cómo estás? Have I spoken to you since Argentina won the World Cup? Because, you know, it's been a long time, man. Thank you for your kind offer, by the way. It would be great to meet you. Yeah. So Hermanas and Miguel, if you guys, you guys, I think you guys are on the Discord, right? So yeah, if you're on Discord, I'll reach out to you. I mean, maybe I can help you with something every like month or so. I haven't actually decided what I will do for the members yet, but for now, I'm happy to spend, maybe half an hour on a Saturday or something, just chatting and seeing if I can help you guys with anything. But yeah. Bro got supporters raided. Yeah, I'm getting raided by the supporters. I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna definitely use this money to get a nice editor. So the modern CPP langnet. Let's see. What is this up? Where's that string splitter, dude? Sort array, simple structure. What is this? C++ is a general programming. C++ is a general purpose programming language that compiles native code created by Bjarne Stroustrup. Okay, where's the string splitter, man? Reverse words. Ah, yes, so the string view, yeah. I like this. That's what I was looking at, by the way. I was just looking at the view stuff, yeah. But yeah, let's maybe do this, right? Let's work with that. So we need to basically work with string views, I think. Yeah, let's send the string view here then. That would be a good change here. So instead of strings, we can just use string and string views, right, everywhere. And what is this doing? This is getting the text, which is a string view, and then piping into std views, reverse, and then splitting. Oh yeah, so it's reversing everything, splitting, and then transforming to reverse and join with. Okay, cool. I don't understand the whole thing, but like I'm definitely going to use the view stuff here. So let's include the ranges. We got ranges in this motherfucker. By the way, you can first. You can only do for auto S. Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's the ranges stuff, right? I think I've done a video on ranges before. I do remember working with it. Very limitedly though. But yeah, let's go. So yeah, I mean, it should be fairly easy now. So we've got the command, pipe it to std ranges or views, right? Views, split, I think it is. And then we pass in the character. So these are the. Yes, this is my split. So I'm going to do an auto const words, right? We got words here. And then what we can do is we can use a stud views, if I'm not mistaken, and then take the first one. Let's see what the documentation is. So args, partially apply the arguments. Args to the. Oh no, this is not what I want. Is it take? I want to take the first one, basically. So yeah, take is what we need. A range adapter that represents view of the elements for an underlying sequence. Or is it drop? Take will take the first n, right? If I'm not mistaken. By the way, guys, check CPP lang if you want. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this up here. So what is it? Is it just a website with... It's open source modern C++ page. Cool, yeah. Does it have like all the common problems, I guess? Online tools using Repl. Oh, they have Repl. By the way, we're doing something like Repl in this project. This is essentially what we're doing, but with like commands, with a command line. There is contributing guide. Cool. So standard library. So if I were to do a... Ah, okay, it's got all the like good stuff here. Oh, this is cool, dude. I didn't know about this page. I'm gonna definitely save it. Thank you, Sop. Yeah, so take is maybe not the one we want. We kind of want to just take one element. So C++ ranges get element. get element from position. Get index of current element. No, this is not what I want. All you need is markdown knowledge. Yeah, I have some of that. Yeah, so let's not get bogged down too much on this. So what does is first here? No, first is not there. What does take do? Can I take like just one element? Is that a thing? What is single? What does single do? std views C++. What is single view? A view that contains a single element of a specified value. Maybe not that one. Begin? Yeah, I could do begin. But first, let's add some checking here. So can we do something like, words.size? Yeah. So if words.size is actually less than 1, right? I guess. Then that means we don't have a command name here, right? Which means we have to return false here, and we can queue the command, right? Range split view begin. Right, cool. I'll use that. So no instance of overloaded function split view. What? Wait, what? What does view size? Does view size not? View count maybe? Counted, right? Does counted work? Let's see here. So create a subrange from iterator. No, I just want to see like, how do I see how many values there are in words? So how many words here? So obviously size doesn't work, right? I mean, it's saying it does, so I don't understand. Like, what is the type of this? What is it? Size no accept, and it returns a const expert auto. Nice. Look at this documentation. I know exactly what it returns. Maybe if we look at the split documentation, we can see the return value. So it's a view interface. It requires the wait. Man, they need to improve these documentations. This is so long and so cumbersome. So empty is not what we want. I'm just gonna have to Google it. Google ranges views size. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. So like, what's the issue here? Since take a while, show size and precedent away, those range adapters cannot return a size range, even if input itself is size. Size range requires that the range can compute the size in O1 time and takes a while, and take a while view cannot do that. You can also use distance on that range. What is take view? Returns the number of elements, which is the smaller of the count passed to the constructor and the size of the underlying view. I'm so confused now, dude. Like, quite honestly. I'm just gonna turn these views into an array of strings. Yeah, so I'm gonna do something like a stud transform. We're going to take in the begin. Import iterator first, last, result. Okay, begin and end and begin of our views, words. And we're just going to put in an auto const word here. And we're simply going to return the word. I think it's toString or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So stud ranges transform like a pro. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that one. So words view, pipe into stud views transform, right? What does it transform into? So we're just taking, what do we take in? Just the word now. So does it still work just like the like I want to collect this to a vector now, basically. That's what I would do in Rust. I would just pass this to a collect. You can't do that. Return stud string view word. No, yeah, I don't know how to use the transform, the views transform, by the way, but I know I can do this here. So words view. Does it not work? Identify begin. Words view is undefined. Does this also not work? Yeah, maybe it doesn't work with stud transform. All I want to do is get the words, split words here, and pipe and pass it to a vector of strings. Let's take a look at the documentation then for the transform. Gosh. We're taking too long here, so I need to do this quick. Right. Transform view. Is there an example? Views transform into the back inserter of out. Ranges copy. Okay. Ranges for each IN is the view transform show. Wow, I didn't know that we can use the piping operator in C++ beginners. Yeah, it's fairly new. It's all part of the ranges headers. I've never used it myself. That's why you can see me struggling here. I don't think many people are using it today, just because this is all quite new and everyone prefers to use the old C++ still. But it's good to have some practice with it, right? Might as well practice it. So out. This one seems to work, right? So stud views transform. Dude, they made like the most complicated example you can think of as well. Like, why not just transform like each letter to, I don't know, like the hex value for it or something, and then they're doing some rot13a. What's rot13a? Like, why are they doing this example? This example is so complicated. Anyway, I think this is probably going to help us out. So for each, copy and show. What is happening here? Hello, developer. We're trying to use ranges in C++, but we're a bit... I mean, I'm a bit confused. Hello from India. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Yeah, what the hell? Bro, who wrote those examples? That is actually so bad. I know, yeah. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, they could have just done something much simpler, and like, what the fuck is even this? I'm trying to understand what this is doing. I guess the only line I really need is something like this one, right? So we can try and see from there. Like, what the hell? Right, so we're going to transform. So in, what is in? Ah, okay, so right. I see what's happening here. So this, we're going to apply the transform, and this is going to return as another view. And then for all the items in the view, ranges copy is going to copy into the back inserted of out. So yeah, let's try and do that then. So transform, we're going to transform words view. And in here is, what do we want here? Transform words view. And we probably want something like auto const. Does this work? Word. Like a pro, we're going to do this. Return. Is it word dot? Right. There is a string view, C++, string view to string. There is a function. Is it just to string? String view, blah, 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 blah. Dude, right. Give me CPP reference. Right. Operations constant. Is it to string? String. I thought there was a function that creates it as a string, because like you have the string view, which obviously you can't convert implicitly to a string because it doesn't work. But I thought there was a nice function that will convert it to a string. Consent here. Okay, so you just pass into the string. Ah, cool. Right, yeah, let's try to do that. So range is copy. So is views copy? Maybe we can make this even better. So let's put that there, and then we do a stud views transform, and then in here we put all this shit here. This is becoming very complicated for no apparent reason, by the way. So we've got transform, words, views, okay, and that closes that. So what is going on here? Stud views, no instance overload of argument, range views. Tell me about yourself, brother. I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. Sorry, I wasn't reading the chat. I was trying to focus a little bit. I've had a good day of work, and now I'm here trying to finish this interview with you guys. By the way, this was a 4-day challenge kind of thing. So can you move the string view into a string? Copying seems to be expensive. Yeah, copying is expensive. But what was I trying to do? Why did I want to do that? I was trying to basically just get, yeah, maybe it's not the best. I was trying to get the first and the other remaining values. But yeah, let's just keep it all without copying to a string. I think you guys are right. Check this code. So transform to ranges to vector. Ah, okay, there's a 2 vector. C++ 23. Okay. Maybe I won't be able to use it because this is just 20. But yeah, the stud ranges. I'm looking at this one here, by the way, guys. So what Sop said in the Discord. This sounds good, to be honest. This is kind of what we had, and then the only missing link was this one here that I didn't know. Stud ranges to vector is from C++ 20. Okay. Hello. This is very similar to collect in Rust. Rust has the same thing. It's just called collect. But yeah, maybe we shouldn't collect it. Someone said that it's expensive and we should keep it as it is here. So let's try and kind of keep. Let's try and like auto const first word or the name. How do we get the first word? So we got the words view, and we can kind of pipe it to stud views. Now, I don't know which function I can use to kind of drop the first one, or just get an element. Like, which one is it? Like, I'm really struggling finding out the correct ones, because for some reason they didn't name things correctly. They gave views a very, very awkward like name set for some reason. So I thought it was going to be single. So single, like you give in some index and it will give you that value. And also I'm trying to find, like, I need to know the size of it. I need to know the size of this so I can return a false from this function if the command is invalid, because it means it doesn't have a name, right? So yeah, I mean, I think we're just gonna have to convert to a vector, but the thing is I'm not using 23 here, so I don't have access to that 2 function. So what's the best, another way of doing it? So maybe just convert to vector. Yeah, let's just convert to vector and get rid of this whole thing. I'm gonna do it in the easiest way possible that I can think of here. So for this is very lazy, I don't like it, but we can figure it out later. You know, let's put it to do here. Make this work with views. And pushback. Yeah, for loop and pushback, that's what I'm doing now. So we're on the same page. Okay, so just a view, I guess. Does this work? Yeah. Now it becomes a lot easier for us to do something like, you know, if words.size is less than 1, then, you know, we have invalid command here, and then we can return a false. So the logic continues, right? And yeah, and now we kind of want to just remove that first one. So words, is it pop back? No. We kind of want to remove the first one, or get the remaining ones. I guess we can just, you know, for the sake of like making this very quickly, we're copying things twice here, but it doesn't really matter in this case. Begin of words. And end of words, right? So lazy way to get remaining arguments. I think the way you do this would be a drop, right? A call to views drop or something. I'm not too sure. You can't do the view has strange view element type. You have to convert to string view. Which one do you mean? Sorry. So is view not a string view? Is that what you're saying? So view here is not going to work. We'll check it out. Let's put a in for loop. Oh, okay. I want to check it out. So name is undefined. So we've got words. Okay. It is not. Wait. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do this, mate. It did work here on IntelliSense, so it must work. Yeah. All of that just to implement one of the functions here. Discord. Dude, what is that LSP you're using? Because you've got all the sub-range, string view. Sub-range. Let's see, because this seems to be compiling, so let's see what we get here. Because I think it should work though. Let's write a test real quick here, right? So shall we do a new folder called tests? Put it out. New file, CMake lists.txt. So we add tests here, and we have add so command cmd interpreter test. It doesn't show error, but it won't compile. Yeah, I just want to see what errors it shows. I understand that. I just want to add a test anyway to see what it kind of shows. Add executable. Okay, so we're just gonna put main.cpp here. Oh shit. Delete cache and reconfigure. Is it gonna work now? Yeah, good. We need to include the modules here, right? So we need to do target link libraries, this private, and then our little CMD interpreter. Right? Yeah, CMD interpreter. Now, how do we get the headers here, dude? That's the issue. Oh, it's an import mod. Well, what the hell am I doing? This is an import CMD interpreter. Skill issue there again. If I do a build, right? Let's see how bad of an issue this is. What the hell? Failed interpreter. C++ Clang 17. Man, these songs suck and they're making me stressed for some reason. Bro doesn't trust good raccoon. I do trust good raccoon, man. I just want to see the error myself. I want to see what it shows up as. That's the thing. You are right though. It doesn't compile. Yeah. No, candidate template ignored. This is still shit though, the error messages. I thought they started sorting them out. Cool. Right, so what do you have there? So string view there is cline. It doesn't show errors, but it won't compile. So what actually do I need to get here? To, what do I need for this view to be converted to a string view? Iterate over view C++. Views enumerate element. So what type is element in this case? C++ outputs is in Minecraft enchantment table language. Yeah, I agree with that though. Like, it still doesn't tell me what I need to do to convert this to a string view, because it's a string view, right? So is it a matter of doing something like, it can't be something like this, right? It's not a pointer. It's not like an iterator, is it? No. Just convert to a string view. Does it? Okay, I'll convert to a string view. Actually, let's do inside here. Yeah, that's what I did swap. It still doesn't work. Why does it not like it? No matching constructor initialization. Basic string view, kind of not no non-conversion from const value type, aka sub-range of const char to const basic string view. Words is a string vector. Wait, what? Words is a string vector. It is, yeah. But you should be able to convert between string view and string, right? std string, string view. No, this is going too far, man. This is going too far. Can I just get the pointer here? So string view dot data is data a thing, and can we have a size as well though? Please tell me size is a thing. Nope, it doesn't work either. Just try. Yeah. I'm sure that what you said does work. So you've got std string here, but I don't want to do std string view here of then the view. This feels like too messy for me, and I really don't like that. It'll probably compile though, won't it? No, it still doesn't compile. No matching initialization for string view, basic string view, candidate, non-viable. So I can't convert. Gosh, why is this so difficult? View to string view. Maybe compiler issue. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just a skill issue in this case. We both don't know how to do it. It works on MSVC. Ah, that is interesting. So with C++, we've got subrange, C++ subrange to string view. What is this? So he's dereferencing a pointer that he's taken the point. What? This is... It feels like they should just remove this. This is cursed. Why are they doing this? Yeah, how do you use this thing, like this result from the piping command here, so the split result, because it's clearly a subrange of const char, right? So what is that? Why is const char a better match for string ranges than explicit? Subrange. Let's do that. Let's see what we have here. So we've got size, obtains the size of the subrange. What I'm trying to do is I want to do a string from pointer and size. So we have, one second, I'll look at this code in a second. Let me just try and focus this. So std string does have a constructor that takes a pointer and a size, I'm pretty sure, right? Where are we? Constructor. So const char star and the size count. So yeah, we do have that. So it should work. It should just work well. If I do this, so we have the view.data, which is it should be a char star, right? In this case, and view.size. Okay, yeah, that works now. There you go. What's going on here though? Warning, non-void function. Yeah, we need to return true. There you go. There you go, Saboch. It's not Saboch, sorry. Sop. That's actually the name of someone I work with. From the documentation, the views returns the subrange thing of const car star, which is just a string, right? So that means you can get a pointer of it and you can get the size. So all we have to do is just do a string from the pointer and the size there. In place back string view of e. I tried that and it didn't work. Literally skill issue. Yeah, it's the compiler issue, I guess. Maybe Microsoft supports that, but Clang doesn't, and it's not part of the standard. It might be undefined behavior or something. Never know. But anyway, 30 minutes later, we can split a string in C++. Yeah. Another problem solved. By the way, fix this code. Yeah. Constructor and template and in place back. I guess that's true, yeah. That's a very good point, dude. It should work as well, right? Because the in place back will call the constructor. Yay, even better. Thank you, Sop. I've failed to see that. Once again, 30 minutes later, we can split a string in C++. So how beautiful is that? That was a joke, by the way. With any other language, there's a .split function somewhere. Yeah, so like we can call the Q command and we can kind of see what it looks like. Coming from Python, whenever I do string handling, Rust feels pain. Yeah, it feels pain. Yeah. So we have the CMD, we have the command. Right, why is this not? Why can't I just get the function working here? So export command interpreter. So what is it? Command interpreter. There you go. Hello, or test. My interpreter. I can do interpreter. Q command, right? I'm not getting IntelliSense, which is a bit worrying. Ah, because it's a private member function. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes complete sense. There you go. There you go. Why is IntelliSense still not bringing me anything here? Q command. Do I know what this is at least? No. IntelliSense not all the way down. Let's add another one. Let's add a few. I forgot. Is it Emeras? How would you spell your name, dude? Emeras, yeah. Who else is on the stream now? We're just gonna queue all of you guys as a command. I remember when a month ago my friend who's learning C++ tried to do Advent code. He's C++ dev, and he asked me, is split in C++? No, it's not. He literally got depressed when he's seen C++ split, yeah. I try to avoid splitting a string in C++ just because, yeah. Anyway, so let's try and kind of run this. So if we build it, it should build fine now. We can run in debug, and we can do a launch.json file, C++, and we can add a configuration, and we can do a C++ launch. Current working directory is workspace folder program. So we have workspace folder, and we've got build, and then we've what is it? What build is it again? Unix Deep Ninja. No arguments. That's all we're gonna do for now. Yeah. So put a breakpoint there, and let's run this. So development C++ build unit does not exist. What the hell? How does it not exist? I can see it. It's here. Unix Deep Ninja. Copy path. What have I missed? workspace folder is there. What? Ah, yeah, of course. my bad. We actually needed the executable. So we want to do which executable tests and command interpreter tests. You have more config files than code. No, the stuff in build is auto-generated, it's not mine, by the way. I've got, these are my files. So yeah. Okay, we've got a breakpoint there. So let's step into this and see what happens. There you go. So we've got the vector. And we're going to split all the words. So what do we have in words now? Echo stop. There you go. So is more than one. And then we've got all the remaining arguments. We've got a name on the arguments. Correct, right? Yes, boys. We got there. 4 CMake and 2 CPP. 4 CMake, I have 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 CMake and 2 CPP. I guess you're right. And there's 1 JSON here. But you know, having many config files is not a bad thing, though. You can have as many as you want. So if I do just echo, or if I do just nothing, and bring those two to the top here, and this one down. Oh. Let's build it. I just want to test it to see if the boundaries are respected at least. So if we don't like cargo.tomo. Yeah. Right, so we have all the words here, words 0. Ah, yeah, see, it's wrong. Cannot access memory, so that is a mem issue. We should have done this here. How could you guys not spot that? I thought you're helping me. But yeah. It's safe to say though, that was probably the hardest part of this project in terms of sitting down and coding. Because the rest of it is just basic logic now. Seg fork, core dumped, yeah. Now we should be a little bit better, no? So it's less than 1, so it's going to return false, yeah. Cool. We can add a little test function here as well, right? So let's say that we want to do a, bool test. Let's rewrite Google tests without including Google tests. Oh yeah, this is, oh my god, I mean the tests. Yeah, Brondon's string split and said he's done the hardest part. No, legit, that's definitely the hardest part. Working with the string splitting and views at the same time would be the hardest part of this project. The rest is simple logic, as I said, like it's not hard. This is like a very easy setup that you guys can do if you don't have access to Google tests in your projects, because sometimes like this project, they don't want you to include anything else apart from the code that you're given. So if you want to do a very easy sort of unit test setup, you can do it like this. This is usually what I do where I can't include like a framework for testing. So you have like the functions that you want, and you're just going to return a boolean. If it fails, you don't want to, you want to like kind of, I guess, like exit the program and say like which function failed, and that's it. That's what Google Test essentially does. But yeah, let's see. So interpreter command and then autoconst result. And then we're just gonna simply return the result, right? So return. Because if it's true, successful. If not, then fair enough. And then you just create a bunch of these, basically. Just like empty command, and then we have one word command, something like echo here. And then you just, do kind of the same thing. And then in this one we can do test multiple word commands here. And then we can just copy and paste all of these. We don't want this one, we kind of want this one, right? Oh, I forgot to remove. I could have done a quick Vim command here, but I'm not that fancy yet on Vim. So hello world, stop, Antonio. There you go. So something like this, and then some more text here, just to make sure it doesn't fail, right? And then for each of these commands, we can kind of you can kind of just go over them and make sure that they all pass, right? We want to make sure that we can add all of them. And if any one of them fails, I guess, we can fail the function. Return false. There you go. That covers all of my. I've got like some test cases here. The last comma. Good point. It's like open beta. In my opinion, C++ ranges at early access. It's like open beta. C++ 23 may add many useful. Yeah, I agree. It's like memes I've sent last time. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that the ranges stuff is a little bit too new now. That's why I haven't messed up with them a lot. But yeah. The last comma as well in vector. Okay. I've been writing too much Go, as you can probably tell here. Yeah, so now we can have like a, I guess we can have a, let's just say we have like a struct called the test case, and that has a stirred string test name, and then we also have a, I guess we can do a studio function. Boo. Oops. Boo. I'm wondering if I have to put this after or before the import. I'm not too sure now, but yeah. Anyway. RIIR. No, I'm not doing IRR, mate. Yeah, so now, as you can probably guess, we have like all the tests here. So very easy and simple way to do tests, right? So we have a test case, all test. We have name, which is empty test, empty command. And we have a few of these, right? We have how many? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have 3. So you have one word command, and a many words command. Multiple word commands. Testing framework, yeah, there you go. Make it a home testing framework right here. For test in all tests. Dude, this is giving me a headache now. Respect for keyboard, it's really strong, yeah. We can save some words here doing a stud all of. all of, and then what do we have here? Import last iterator and predicate. So begin of all tests. I'm gonna go to the end of all tests. All of it true, yeah. There you go, all tests, end all tests, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just simply run them. There you go, boys. You wrote too much for us to go lang. There you go. This is the make it at home Google test right here. So let's see if all the tests pass, shall we? So yeah, let's see how many times we're going to call this. Is it going to build in the first place? So return command interpreter tests main. So what's the issue here? Ah, okay. I don't have an interpreter. That's fine. I can do that right now. Okay, warning, declaration does not... Declaration, oh yeah, of course, Jesus. Oh, case is a keyword, fuck. Test case. Expected is... What am I getting wrong here? Oh yeah. Too much for us now. Jesus Christ. There you go. STD ranges all of. Yeah, I could do that. I'm staying away from ranges at the moment. We'll go back to them in a second. So tests all run. So the first test here. So this, we can see if it passes, I guess, right? That passes? No, it doesn't. It does not pass. Return command empty. Can you see why it doesn't pass? Can you see why it doesn't pass? It's because we're expecting this to return true, but it should return false, right? Because it's an invalid command. Jesus, what is going on? Oh, caps lock, of course. There you go, now our test should pass. Now, I went out of my way to do a very easy test framework here for you guys. I hope you appreciate that. There you go. There you go, it's done, and leak sanitizer has encountered a fatal error. What is going on here though? What is leaking? What is leaking now? So there's a memory leak issue. Interesting, like why is there a memory leak issue? What is going on? Why do I have a memory leak? You know, average C++ experience here for you guys. So leak sanitizer has encountered an error. Try setting environment variable lsan. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do exactly that because I want to find out why we have environment. Lsan options verbosity equals 1. Wait, what? This is all 1? Okay, yeah, we can do that. Skill issue, yeah. What the hell? What is the issue? Now I've got a config skill issue here. Command interpreter exact set argument required. Wait, what? Environment variables to add. Example name config. Oh, okay, so it needs a name. Okay. Unregistered root region. Right, what do we get? Do we get anything useful here? I think it may be a false positive, to be honest. I don't know what it is, but we've got the test case string name. Am I using like a reference to those pointers somewhere? Or reference to a string that gets deleted eventually? I don't think I am. This is so bad. What is going on? Where is our leak? Is it in the command interpreter itself? Let's see. It must be, right? It must be one of these references that eventually get deleted. Is it this? By the way, is it this? It can't be that. Words is size 0. Args. Okay. I don't know why I was putting the reference there. Let's see if it was that by any chance. If one of these references was a dangling reference by any. Has encountered a fatal error. No, we still have that. We still got exactly that. I'm now like a little bit worried. What have I introduced here? I have clearly introduced a memory leak somewhere. String view command. Is std function bool correct? I think it is. It's so where is it? So take this one for example. You declare a function that takes in a string here, that returns a string, sorry, and then takes in a vector of strings, const here. So that's usually how the functional stuff works. Could it be this by any chance? Is this copying the string or literally just like copying the pointer now? Let's see. So this is constructor 4. Constructs the string with the first count characters of character string pointed to by s. S can contain no characters. The length of the string is count. The behavior is undefined if s plus count is not a valid range. Constructs the string. Right, which other one can we use here? No, I don't think this is the issue either, right? Right. Let's comment that and then just put a that's, you know, the only place I could see something like a memory leak that I'm not aware of happening. Yeah, but it still happens, so I do wonder what the hell it is. I remember the book I learned C++ from. What was it called? The C++ programming language by Bjorn Stroustrup by any chance? That's the one I read. Failed suspending threads. Oh gosh, what is? What if I remove that one? Is it one particular test that's causing this to fail? So we still have a fatal error. I'm wondering if it's the array access now. It showed pointers and memory allocation even before structs and classes. Yeah, that is painful. I don't see why people teach those things first. I mean, instead of the simple shit first and then later on. Has encountered a fatal error again. So the code must be here, right? It just must be here. It must be here somewhere. So if we comment that out and we build it, we just return true every time. Doesn't really matter. I have C++ Primer. I'm yet to read it. Yes, that's another one. I do like that one too, though. My first job, they had that one, and that's kind of what I read during the job to learn more. So Leak Sanitizer has encountered a fatal error. What is going on? It obviously can't be the constructor and destructor of this class, because I don't have one. So I don't have a constructor or destructor here. So is it in the test code? That's what I wonder. So all of tests, test case, test function. Yeah, I think it might be a false positive. Maybe I'm wasting too much time on this. Now I'm running no functions, and I will also absolutely destroy these ones, except that. So like, what could be the memory issue in this case? Like, it can't be. So if it's still giving me the error, this is a false positive. Yeah, it's still a false positive. It must be something to do with Clank 17. I don't know. None of these are giving me memory issues, so. It's kind of painful when you have that, though. I've seen this with libraries before as well. So when you work with, I think I was working with like glue or something in one of the streams, and then I was getting this memory issue all the time. I was like commenting out every single bit of code that I wrote, only to find out that it was in the glue init function. There was a false positive in there, and it's, yeah, I don't know. By the way, ranges are all on. Stop. You're not getting me to use ranges today, dude. I've used enough ranges today, right? We'll stop here. Yeah, it must be like a false positive somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's not in my code. I've just commented everything that it could possibly be, and use ranges. I'm using ranges, dude, okay? See here, look. This is a range. It's a range that I'm converting to a vector, so it's not the best practice. But yeah. Maybe it's begin and end issue. Maybe it is. I mean, I had a begin and end here, right? In the string args. I mean, yeah, it could be, but the thing is, I commented this out as well, and it was still giving me the issue, so it's not just this, at least. In main, nah, begin and end of all vectors will not be the issue. Sorry, even if it's empty, this still works. It just has nothing in it, so it's not that. I use the containers for a reason, so I don't have to mess with memory. But anyway, what do we have here in the library? And remove them. Remove them. I can, yeah, I guess I can put a for loop here. I mean, oh no. There you go, we don't have a begin and end now. Can I pass in -1 to this? No. It's SD terminate, isn't it? That's the one I want. Or abort? What does abort do? Is it the same as terminate? Execution, abort execution, generate a core dump. Cool. It's not going to be this though. I'll be very impressed if it is. Very, very impressed. STD CL test for member name CL, okay. And no more begin and then STD exit 1. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's definitely not that, man. It's gonna be something with my setup. I don't know what I've configured wrong here, but anyway, I don't want to waste too much time on that because it's clearly not gonna be very productive too. We've got a way to queue a command now. We need to process the commands in the queue. We'll do that in a second. We need to add a command now. This is maybe the next important function here. So we can again do a bool add command. We've got a string std. Yeah, std string will be fine. Thinking of string view. And then we need the handler, right? So std function. Actually, I don't like these std functions everywhere, so let's put it here. So command export using command handler. Can't type today for some weird reason. What is the issue? What's the issue? Hello, hello, hello. There you go. Right? Random science fact. Reading stdlib source code before sleep makes you sleep. Not better. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give you nightmares. We'll give you the worst nightmares possible. Yeah, so we've got a command handler now, which means I don't have to. Oh, what's the issue here? Identifier command is oh yeah, it's because of this. Command handler, and then we've got. It doesn't have to be a pointer. I mean, we can copy the pointer anyway. And ideally, we probably want to call back as well, but I'm going to leave that bit out. I'm going to leave this bit out here. We can do it later, right? I can test it out on MSVC. Yeah, I'll push it to GitHub. So like, let me see something. So I've got this code that I wrote for the actual, interview, which was the project. You can take a look at it. It's much fancier than this, by the way. I decided to push it 5 months ago. I think when I first did a stream about this. But I will create a new branch for this. Yeah, I'll create a new branch for this up, and then you can try it out. Let's see if that works. It's true. Every time I try to check to see how something worked, I came out with more questions. Yeah, it's usually the way to go. Actually, stop. I'm not going to push it. Yeah, I'll push it after the stream because this is in a different directory. But there's nothing saying I couldn't try it out. I can. Yeah. Yeah, I'll push it to a different branch stop, and I'll put it on Discord later. I don't want to do that work now, though. Yeah, we need to add the command now. So this is, again, very easy. So, like, we got to make sure command name doesn't already exist in the map, right? Nobody knows all the C++ things. Yeah. And if it doesn't exist, we just add it to command map. There is no string splitting in this case. There's nothing here, so it's pretty good. Oh, there is one problem that we need to solve. So like the name of the command, right? It could have, I guess, we need to check if it's valid, right? Which means it doesn't have spaces in it. That would be something we can't really have. So yeah, let's check that out. So first of all, if the name empty, we're going to return false. What else? We've got to make sure that the name is valid. Track75, welcome to the Discord, man. Again, for the people watching, if you can drop a like on the video, I would appreciate that massively. Thank you very much. So, right. Yeah, if the name is empty, then it's not valid, of course. But then if I want to say if the name contains, it's find, I think. Find first of character, yeah. If it contains a space, it's also not valid, right? What would that return me? It returns me a const glib no except size t. Okay, so I need to read the documentation for it because I don't know. That returns an end pause, right? If I'm not mistaken. So which means 0 is, it means it's not there. Find first of basic string. I just want a character there. So this is number 3. Number 3 finds the first character equal to or one of the characters in the character string pointed by s. The length of the string is determined by k. Now the return value, position of the found character or end pause if no characters found. Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out here. So if is not stud.end pause and position. Yeah. So that means we have a space in our name, and we can't allow that, right? So we need to return a false here as well. And then the rest is easy, guys. It's just, you got to add it to the map. That's it. Make sure it's not in the map. So auto const found. It's just standard map stuff now. And then if it's not the end of commands, that means it's there. So we just return a false as well. And then at the very end here, that means we can add it to the map, right? So it's just as easy as that now. So commands dot, I think it's insert, right? Yeah, insert, and we can add the pair. So we got the name here and the command handler. There you go. And that's it. That's the add command function. So we can add any command functions that we want now. And we should, in a sense, kind of have, most of it working. Except the one thing we don't have working is the process commands in the queue, right? So let's look at this one. So this is going to be a void because we're just going to process whatever we have in the queue. So process commands, right? Skill issue. So you're saying that phrase too much now, Sop. There's no skill issue at the moment here. This looks perfect. This is perfectly fine C++ code. Yeah, process commands. So what we need to do? Well, the plan is very simple. If you're trying to process the commands in a queue, we basically have to pop the first command right in the queue. And then, I guess you process it, right? that's the plan. So see, the way that they said in the project, what you call it, the project requirements, is that the process command function doesn't have to process all of the commands in one go, right? Which means that let's just process whatever commands we've got currently on the queue, right? So how do we do that? So we've got a queue. So you want to do for, I guess, bear with me for a second. So we've got a command queue here, and we've got the size, right? So we've got auto. We've got a number of commands here. Oh, I made a mistake there. What the hell? Yeah, I'm doing a very, very sort of primitive for loop here. You can see that it's not a modern for loop by any chance, by any standards in C++, because I don't want to process every command in the queue, because I just want to process the ones that are currently in the queue. So while this function has been called here, if this function has been called here, and we kind of add any other commands while this is happening, I don't want to process the new commands. There is a reason for that. The reason is because we have a very long command called the countdown. So if you do countdown 10, you're supposed to print like countdown from 10 and then countdown from 9 every second. And the way we're going to do that is probably going to be a little bit hacky. So like every time I process a new iteration of that countdown command, I'm going to add a new one to the queue. But I don't want to process that new one, because otherwise we just process them all in one go, right? That is why I'm doing it this way. So I'm just going to process whatever commands are in the queue while, when this gets called. And any commands that we add after that is going to be in the next iteration. So this how looks, wait, I get very annoyed at this. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. This heart thing here. Jesus. Can I remove that? There you go. Hide. Hide element. No, it didn't work. Hide element. Yeah, there you go. I can read your message now, dude. King Hader, welcome to the stream. So this how looks fun in C++. I was wondering for all my life. I kind of understand what you're trying to say. That you're trying to say this doesn't look fun. And it doesn't, but some people like it anyway. But also, this is just a very boring interview coding question, by the way, interview coding challenge. But anyway, welcome to the stream. I wish you could write sentences that make sense, though, just so I can actually understand them in the future, just for future reference. But thank you for the message anyway. So for each I love no docs, tease and untease it. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid templates here, but we're going to write them in the future. Command q.pop. We kind of want to pop it after we do wait, what? Pop? Yeah, I keep forgetting that pop in C++ doesn't actually pop the element, it just pops in, gets rid of it. So command is going to be command q.front, right? I think this moves it automatically, but let's slap a move in front of it anyway. And then we can pop it. Now we're guaranteed to have a pop here because we know that the number of commands is the number of the commands that we have in the list, right? And we can process it here. So now it becomes very easy. So like we've got a command here, and in the command we've got the name, right? So that means we can get the function, the handler, So we can do auto handler equals actually, let me think something. Yeah, we kind of need to see if the handler exists, right? You guys never heard about short for function? Is fun. Oh, okay. Yeah. I kind of understand now. No, I still don't understand, dude. I don't understand your first message, but... yeah, we need to check if the command name is in the is a valid command, right? Although we are guaranteed to have that. I'll tell you why though, because we have add command which checks. Sorry, we have the q command which checks that the name is valid. Oh, that's something we're missing out actually. That's something that we're missing out, right? So let's add it here. Good point. So we need to do auto command found. We have command q. Oh, sorry, the command dot find. Oh, name. And if command found is the end of commands, then we can't add it because the command doesn't exist, right? Now, yeah, it's a good thing we spotted that. And yeah, that means we're guaranteed to have the handler, you know, the handler in. So we can say it's full of fun though. Yeah, I like that, dude. Oh, you get the emojis now. I've never seen anyone using the emojis here. Maybe I'll use the support money to get someone on Fiverr to create me nice programming emojis. Yeah, so we have the handler, which is the command.name. And we've got to find it. So yeah, I mean, since we're guaranteed it, we can just do something like this. Command.name. And then we can call the handler. And then we can pass in the arguments, right? So the command.args. And oh, they're not supported emojis. Oh no, I thought they were. Would be nice because you're doing a lot of live streams. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get some emojis done for us. Might be this weekend. Fiverr stuff is quite expensive nowadays, by the way. Why did I go on Fiverr the other day? Yeah, I found an editor for my previous video, the Rust one that I've released like a few weeks ago. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't find anyone for less than like 50 pounds. So yeah, I mean, that's why I don't always go to Fiverr, because it can cost quite a lot basically. But hire a designer, we need more people. Yeah, definitely. The problem is, like, if everyone, you know, if I get more supporters like you guys, which I appreciate a lot, then I'll be getting some money. But like, adverts don't give you anything on YouTube. I get zero from adverts. And in fact, up to now, like with you guys supporting, I haven't got any money at all from YouTube, even though I do it quite a lot. It's just the way it is. So I have to spend it from my own salary, basically. Yeah, so we've got the result here. And ideally, we do the callback with the result there, right? In the future. So yeah, now let's do some tests, right? So let's add echo. Let's see if echo works now on our main tests. And then we can do like a get line thing very quickly, and then that's it. yeah, so let's add, you know, the echo function. Right, an echo should be very easy, right? We just spit it out to the console. So do something like std and then whatever args like we've got here. That's all. So we do for and then auto args, auto arg, and args. And yeah, at the end of it, I guess we do a std, or we can do a flush, right? So end line is not a bad option here. And then we also return, I guess, something like I don't know, echo done, right? This is the value that would go to the callback. But yeah, cool. There you go. Let's see if our echo functions work now. Would be nice. Designer, I can fire up some a little. I believe when people see a crowd, they become more curious about it. Wait, how does the member stuff work? Do you join it once and that's it? Is it for the month, or do you just do it once and? I don't actually know how it works. I've never done it before on YouTube, so all I can see is that you have a special like color on your name here and a badge. But yeah, is it like a Twitch subscription? Out of interest, I'm just asking out of interest because I have no idea. So terminal, and then we've got the debug console. Okay, so where is our stuff though? Okay, I don't really see our... Did I rebuild it? Ah, okay, no, it didn't work. Why did it not work? Arg, yeah, that's why. There you go. It is, I guess, but I couldn't be sure about the price. Is it locally adjusted or something? I don't know. I just set up the default one, and in the UK it was like something like £4 or $3.99. But yeah, same like Twitch. We also give memberships. Ah, cool. Illegal instruction commands.insert. Like why? Why is this illegal? So add command, what do we get here? So we got a name isn't empty, find first of. And if it's already in there, so insert. Why is insert not working in this case? Add comma, yeah. Command map. I am so confused now. Why did this not work? Let's rerun this and see what happens. So name is echo and the handler is actually a function. So why can't I do a commands.insert? Command map iterator and a boolean. takes a string and a command handler. Right? Because that's what this is, command map. Command handler is a function that takes a vector and removes, yeah. Illegal instruction, Jesus Christ. What if we just do this? Same price like Twitch, we can also give memberships. Then you have to check the price localization. Because I'm in Turkey and it's not 0.25 in here. Nice, I mean, that's fine. I mean, in the UK it's $3.99, and I think that's reasonable if people just want to like shout out a membership or something. I don't want to make it too expensive. Like I've got quite a few viewers in Brazil, and if it's like the same price in Brazil as it is in the UK, then it's just too expensive. It's like not worth it. But that sounds kind of okay, I guess. 25. I don't know what that is in lira, but I guess it's not too expensive, right? Hopefully not. Anyway, but I will check it out. I will check it out. I'm not really doing this to make money, so I don't really mind too much. Illegal instruction. Why? What is illegal about this? Commands. Why is this giving me like? Why can't I insert values into the map? I've never seen this before, by the way. I mean, I've seen the error before, but like, I don't know why it's throwing this error. Might be the most helpful error. Yeah, I agree. Legal instruction is definitely the best error message you could possibly ask for by the compiler gods. So this invokes undefined behavior. Wait, your make sound and eat food function are declared as returning strings, but you're not actually returning from those functions. Okay, am I not returning from those functions? Let's see. It could be that the handler has I mean, it's supposed to have a string return and a vector of strings here. Ah, I kind of get what it is now. Is the const here? So I forgot to put the const there, right? There you go. Yeah, this is C++ for you guys. Welcome to C++. In Poland, it's 195 pounds. Yeah, that's weird. It's different everywhere, but I mean, that sounds reasonable, right? If you want to shout out on the chat at some point. I don't want to put something like £5 or something like that everywhere because it's just too expensive. I'd much appreciate if people just like watch me and spend the time here rather than just doing it to spend the money. In Turkey, a Big Mac menu is $5.71 for comparison. Ah, cool. Maybe it is too cheap then, I don't know. I love Big Mac though. Do you know what I love more than Big Mac so has? Turkish kebabs, dude. I love Turkish kebabs. There's a place here in Manchester called Istanbul Cafe, and they do really, really nice kebabs and like just Turkish food in general. So I love that. You're lucky to be in Turkey, I guess. Nice food in there, right, dude? I do. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to visit Turkey at some point. Maybe this year I'll go sometime because it's not too expensive to go from the UK. But anyway, going back here, so we've got the const there, and we also had the insert here. Okay, now I'm pretty sure this will be okay, right? Let's see. No, illegal instruction. Jesus Christ. What have we done here? So stud vector, it returns a string. And what is commands map? And the echo handler returns a string, and it takes in a vector of strings as well. Jesus, this is driving me crazy. Why is C++ doing this to me? Yeah. Unnecessary copying when inserting into maps with brace in it. Okay. Great choice. As a real support, I'm going to buy you a kebab if you visit here. Thank you, thank you. I'll make sure to say on YouTube if I do go. Okay. Oh, return true. I wasn't returning the function as well, so what happens if I do return it now? I don't assume that's the issue, but we'll see. Oh, it was the issue. Illegal. There you go, we're fine now. So in essence, we should be able to see like the echo's been done now. So let's see. So running test one word. Echo. Terminal. Is it in the terminal? There you go. Where are the outputs actually going in here? Is it on the debug console? I'm not entirely sure. And also, let me remove this shit because it's really annoying. Where is it? The verbosity here. Slim, yo Slim, how's it going, dude? Enes, welcome to the stream, man. The problem was because I wasn't returning the value here, the boolean, right in here, and it was giving me an invalid, was it illegal operation or something in C++, which is not very helpful. But it's just because it seemed like I was just missing this. But yeah. Okay, cool. Now, one of the things I want to do is just run the command, right? So let's see. So we've got that, and we queue the command, and we need to do interpreter run command, right? And it's going to get really interesting in like 10 minutes, guys. If you just stick on for a bit, we'll actually do like a terminal with this, like a bash terminal with this, and that bit is easy. So is it interpreter dot, is it process commands? Yeah, process commands. Okay, right, so which ones do we need to process? Yeah, this one definitely. We need to remove this return from here and then call it return true or something. Actually, I do want to check that if this is not valid, then we return false here. And then we return true otherwise. This is the test. The test here is we create a command interpreter, we add the echo handler, and then we kind of queue the command echo, and then we process the command, right? That's what we do. So let's build it and see what happens now. Right, so running the first command doesn't work. Okay, so multiple words. Wait, right, so we didn't actually print anything, and that's a bit weird. Why didn't we print anything? I only care about the one with multiple commands anyway. So what is going on here? So this is coming in as empty maybe, right? Let's see. What is args in this case? Running multiple tests. Okay, right, so anonymous namespace, invoke here. Where are we? Huh. So we queue the command and then we return. Okay, so the queue command thing is not working properly. Let's take a look. So we've got the command there. And then we've got a name, which is echo. And the command is found. Okay, yeah. Command was found, right? Yeah, good. Then the arguments. Begin and end of words. What's words in this case? Just echo. What? Oh, okay, yeah. Just because we... There you go. it was a skill issue in the tests. I like how none of you saw that. Thank you guys. I see you're a bit like me when it comes to debuggers. I always run my applications in debuggers first. How people can program without... yeah, I'll never understand that as well, Patrick. Like, sometimes I go into work and I start a new company and then like I just realize that no one uses debuggers for some reason. They prefer to use like printouts and stuff, and I don't understand how, honestly. And I'll tell you what, some of the best programmers use debuggers first. So, you know, well done to you for doing that. There you go. So, right, multiple word commands. So we queue the commands there. We add echo. Right, let's try that again. So the command is echo hello world. Interpreter, we've got the commands here, echo, and we've got the command queue 0 echo there with nothing else on it, right? And we're going to process that. Which is interesting because queue command should have definitely queued the command though. I don't know why it didn't queue. So a lot of people use TDD. Yeah, this is not TDD. This. I did the test after, so technically not TDD. Manaz, by the way, you can make a skill issue sticker to post it on these kind of times. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna do that. That's definitely a good one. So yeah, queue command is not working when I have an actual command. Now let's see why. So we have, like, what? Why is it only coming in as words, as echo here? Have I not compiled this? Have I actually not recompiled it? Okay. Did it work now? So I think I just didn't recompile, you know. Commands queue 0 echo hello. Arguments hello world. Okay, so we should see something now, right? There you go. Now it's working fine. Now it's about to get very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. Hello. You see everyone's name here. So right, we've got an echo command working. STD print line 10 out of 10. Yeah. I mean, from the outside, it looks like I'm just printing lines, yeah, but it's a little bit more than that. It's a command handler. It's like a callback thing, but yeah. Now let's actually just do a what do you call it? An actual command line program, right? So I'm just gonna add in the test as well. I'm kind of bored today, and I want to finish this quick, so let's add that executable here. So the terminal, let's call it the terminal. We're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna create a new file here called terminal.cpp. This is not a good example of how to lay out your project, by the way. I have much better examples of how to lay out projects in C++, but you know, hope you guys don't mind. And we're essentially just going to have a while loop until we quit, basically. And we're going to do something like, you know, stdc out, and then we're going to type that. And then we can do something like a stud read line or something. What is it? Include IO stream. What is this? Why is this not working? Could not find module this. I just have to reconfigure, right? Yeah, there you go. Assume the interpreter. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no. Yes, yes, no, yes, no. Is it going to find it or not? Do I also have to set this one again? There's no way. So, yeah, the way. Yes, way. That's interesting. Now you can do stud socket finally. Yeah. So, right. Why is this module not being found? I don't know. Command interpreter, assume the interpreter, assume the interpreter. Yeah, I have no idea why. We'll find that out in a second. So, stdc. Okay, so we need to do an sd get line or something. Get line. What do we need here? We need basic iStream stdc in and the variable that's going to go into. Yeah, so let's do that. std string here, command. Dude, what is up with the Counter-Strike, the Minecraft songs? Just Minecraft songs non-stop in this playlist. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so let's add that. I'm just going to copy and paste this for now, just for an example. So the echo handler. What else do we need? Include vector. Is that it? Yeah, that's it for now. Shouldn't include IO stream in the global modules. Shouldn't you include IO stream in the global? Yeah, I've included that. I think there's a little bit of delay, and I do apologize for that, guys. Sebastian, import std is not working yet. No, unfortunately, it's not. I tried it the other day, so it's still with Clang. Clang 17. It doesn't work. It's a little bit shit, but oh well. Terminal, CMD interpreter. Yeah, I don't know why the module isn't being found, but we'll figure that out in a second. Yeah, so now let's create that interpreter here. Command interpreter. And we have the echo handler here. So what is going on here? Okay, yeah, it did build now. Why? I don't know why IntelliSense decides to stop working here for some reason. Like it found the command interpreter module, no problem here on the tests, but then on the actual terminal it doesn't work. In Visual Studio, I type module include IO stream at the top. Yeah, this is just an exe though. I don't think you have to put the module. I do have that in here though. So you see this is a library. And we've got what you mentioned there, Daniel. But I'm not sure if on the on the executables, you need to actually declare the module, if it makes sense. At least CMake didn't tell me to on their article that I read the other day. Where is it actually? Let me get it up so you don't think I'm lying. CMake modules. This is where I got some of the knowledge, or the first one. So we have, the module there. There you go. So when there's an executable, I don't think you have to put the modules in there. I'm not entirely sure. In fact, COP had some very good links for a modules article that I actually read as well. I read 2 of them. There's like three massive articles. It's on the Discord, so if you go back a few days, you should be able to find that. It's a very good read, by the way, about modules. So, and you can thank COP for that. Yeah, so we've got the command here, and then we can do interpreter dot q command, and then we can do interpreter dot process commands, right? But of course we want to check if this didn't work. We need to say here continue right. So now let me see if it works at least. So if you go into the build Unix debug Ninja, yeah, there you go. Shop has got a very good set of articles that are good for modules reading. I still haven't finished them, but I need to. There you go, invalid command. Good. So that kind of works. One thing that we didn't do is add a new line there. So terminal, if I do echo hello. Yeah, can you guys see it? This is what I was trying to get to. So with all this code that we added, we can now have a little terminal here where we say echo hello world, or echo hello, I don't know, Patrick. This is not the end yet though. With all the code that we've written, all we need to do to add another command is just another one of these functions. So say we wanted to do an add function now, add handler, right? We're taking a vector, and then all we got to do is implement this function here and add it as a command, as a verb. So what we can do is we can maybe do a stud size t here, or we put it as count equals 0, and then for every argument we're gonna cstd int, I think it is. We're gonna convert them to integers, right? So something like, you know, converted value is stud, and was it a to I or some shit? This one here will do. It converts a string. Yeah, we can use this function for now, but there is a better conversion function, which is actually implemented by Microsoft and Clang, which converts strings to int in C++. Is it? I forgot what it was called, but it's a new header. Oh gosh, I forgot about it. Let's see if CPP reference will tell us. Oh, this random person's article, is it going to tell us? No. Are they using A to I? Yeah, they're just using S to I and stuff, the C functions. I don't want A to I don't want this. I'm literally just trying to find the casting that's in the standard now. From cars, there you go. That's the one. From cars is like the car conversion header, and if I'm not mistaken, is implemented by Microsoft and Clang. I'm not sure about GCC yet, but this gives you a much better way of converting between strings and integers, because you can have a definer access to the actual errors, and you know, if the string, if the number represented by the string goes over what is allowed in an int, for example, it will tell you what the error is. So this is a much better header you can use if you have access to that in your compiler. But we're not obviously not going to be using that here. We're just going to be what is this taking? We're just going to assume that people will give you the right value. And in fact, all we need to do is something like count equals that. And then in here we can just put the count itself, right? So we can do count, and yeah, I guess that will do. But anyway, that's the only amount of work that we actually have to do if you want to add a new function here. Add handler. And we can compile this, and if we run on the terminal now, on our little terminal, we can do add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it will give you the answer now, right? As well as we still have the echo, hello world, and yeah, that was it. Obviously, we haven't implemented the main one of the minimum viable ones, which is the countdown. There must be a function called countdown, and this function is going to kind of return the it's going to say like counting down from 10 seconds, and then on the 9th second it's going to do counting down from 9 seconds. So there's a little bit of recursion there, if you see what I mean. So like every time you process this, you must be able to kind of add another countdown with 1 less second than you had before, essentially. And there's going to be some messing about with timestamps here. So you need to see if, you know, the last time you run the countdown command was a second ago or less than a second ago, so you can print it at the right time. But we're not going to have time to do that on the stream. However, I think I've linked it on the video already. If you look under the video, there is the actual code that I've done for this interview. So I had this interview, I think it was like February of last year when I was looking for a new job. This project was for an interview in a very big company that I wanted to join, and I did go very far. I got up to the last stage where I think someone else just got the job instead of me, because they probably had more experience with Unreal and that's what they were looking for. But this solution did go actually very far, and I did get very high praise for it. And the entire code is much better structured, if you guys want to take a look at it. And you can see the command interpreter code. It's kind of similar to what we did today, but with much better C++, modern C++ structures. So I'm using, for example, variants and stuff instead of strings for the input. So you can pass in any types that you want, and the conversion is done automatically for you. And you can have type checking on the commands as well. So like add, for example, would type check that everything is an integer. But yeah, it's all in here basically. So yeah, I mean, if you are interested in finding out how the countdown is implemented, how you'd implement this in a real kind of world project, so you can see that there's, it's much more complicated here for certain things, then I recommend looking at it. What we did today is just a very basic, like the very bare bones project that you need for completing something like a coding challenge like this, when you have to do a Repl. But do bear in mind that this particular problem, for example, I think I had a deadline of something like 4 or 5 days. So over 4 or 5 days, I could make everything, which is counterintuitive, because when you first read the project, you think, oh, it's something very easy. And I think SOP actually did say that it's a very easy project. But if you were to read the fine print, and especially the things that we didn't read at the start of the video in the requirements, there's a lot more stuff that you have to do, and it's not as easy as it sounds, basically. So it does take you a couple of days for you to be able to finish all the coding, and you also have to generally write an explanation of your function. So I did have an explanation here. You can see I've pasted it exactly in the same way that I handed it to them. I obviously took out the name of the company and where I was applying for, and role specific stuff here. But yeah, it was a fun little interview question. That's quite right, Patrick. It wasn't the worst I've seen. I've seen much worse. I mean, there was an interview that I did for I think it was an image processing company that worked in the sports industry, right? So I mean, you can probably figure out who they are already. So they worked in like the World Cup, for example, and they work with like NBA and stuff. And that one was much harder. That one's much harder. And it was like using OpenCV to kind of get the tennis balls in a picture, and you had to be like robust. So if you rotate the image and it still has to work and that kind of shit. So that one was a lot harder compared to this one. But in that one, you got something like 2 weeks to complete the project for a senior developer role, which, you know, it's not my cup of tea usually. I don't like spending a lot of time for an interview that I may not get the job, basically. But unfortunately, all the companies nowadays are kind of doing these things. Is the common practice for every company now to give you a little project if you're applying for a higher up role. If for lower roles, so something like a junior developer or just a software developer role, you might not get big projects like these ones. But for the higher ones, where they need to see whether or not you know the language, whether you know your shit, like architectural stuff, then unfortunately you will get like bigger projects in my experience, at least. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a nice little coding session, and I'm actually going to call it a night here. And again, thank you everyone for joining. If you haven't done so, still like the video, even though we're going to finish now. It still improves the video for the algorithm tomorrow. It shows it to more people. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in a couple of days. I'll stream again, and I'll see you guys, and bye-bye. Thank you all for joining.